Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Good morning, everyone. Dear Excellency, for Mom Nadiah is our lecturer in the subject ELT for young learners and also for all my beloved friends. Today, we are from the first group. We would like to talk about foreign language learning at primary school. Yeah, our members are me, Erny Karina, and also Jyhan Syahrina and Salma Aulia. In this capture, we will examine the most common aims and objective of primary level foreign language learning and also some important consideration of this trend for foreign language learning in secondary school. The first one, English language learning as a global phenomenon. Why English be a global phenomenon here? In a book on the impact of global English of different parts of the world, M.C. Arthur in Cradle and Minhoff, 1999, writes that East Asia is a particularly good example. Yeah, so he writes that East Asia is particularly good example. And Greece and Taiwan are only two examples of the many countries where parent wishes have created a rapid growth in private school for English at primary and secondary level. Yeah, it means that parents of Taiwan or Greece child, they want their children having growth in, and then they are enter in private school to learning English. Yeah, and in Taiwan, for example, parents say they are only too aware or how competitive the educational climate is. Yeah, Taiwan parents are too aware about their child educational climate. Okay, the next one is within the European Union, when 2001 was designated the European Year of Language, during which many activities were organized to raise the profile of foreign language learning. Its aims were to celebrate the diversity of language, to encourage lifelong learning, and to provide information about the teaching and learning of language. Yeah, when 2001 European Union having was the European Year of Language, their aims to celebrate the European Year of Language is they want to get to teaching and learning of language information. And then the next one, why? Why teach foreign language at primary level? Yeah, this is the reason. A report by Gerard Gerard 1974 provided a detailed overview of several European FLL projects. This report underlined the need for creating, first of all, the optimal or best condition for a teaching language. He referred to 6 important conditions: having appropriately trained teachers, proper timetabling with sufficiently timing, appropriate methodology, continuity and liaison with secondary school, provision of suitable resources, and integrated monitoring and evaluation. Yeah, that is 6 important conditions. Okay, the next one is this conference and reports highlighted the following issues introducing early foreign language learning. So, the following issues why we should introducing early foreign language learning. First one, advantage can be taken of certain aptitudes children have. And the second one, there is no theoretical optimum age to start teaching. The starting age can vary according to country and linguistic situation, although at the time, the age of 9 was often chosen. Yeah, it means there is no optimum age to start teaching foreign language, and also the age to starting foreign language. It depends on the country and also the linguistic situation. And most of a country choose when the student or the child 9 years old. Okay, the next one is early learning of a non-mother tongue language must be integrated into other teaching in the primary school. And then whatever else may be achieved, the main concern is to prepare the ground so that the most can be made of the teaching which will be received in secondary school. Yeah, the concern to teaching foreign language is to prepare the student in the early age. And the last one is the linguistic and pedagogical skill of the teacher are the two most important factor. So that's all the report highlighted the following issues that we have to know. Okay, the next one is English language learning policy at primary level. Yeah, this one will be delivered by our friend Salma. Okay, Salma, time is yours.
Hello, my name is Salma Aulia. I will continue the next material about English language learning policies at primary level. Policies of teaching English to young learners or ELY is to introduce several conditions need to be met. The first condition is that it should be properly planned, ideally taking into account the experience of other countries which succeed. Teachers, educator, curriculum designer, material writer, and assessment specialists must have clear idea of intended goals and outcomes. Ideally, they have been involved through consultation or participation in the process of policy creation. This is especially true where such policies are introduced on an experimental basis, as has often been the case with foreign language teaching in primary school. Second, the government and private institutions must ensure that adequate research are provided to ensure optimal conditions so that the younger equals better so can be turned into successful reality. This provision includes not only material research, appropriate coursebook, or another classroom aids, but also appropriately trained teachers, educators, and teachers. Third, an evaluation of learning outcomes after a set period is also essential since they are ultimately expected to provide information on the validity of teaching and the cost effectiveness the national spending involved. And the next material about the aims and objectives. The general aims of early foreign language learning should appear attractive to parents, teachers, and administration and workable for children, while avoiding being over-ambitious and unrealistic. The policy document states that the aims was not the creation of bilingual children, but more reasonably to prepare children linguistically, psychologically, culturally for language learning. In fact, more than a decade after this report, the aims of foreign language learning all over the world can generally be classified under these headings. like psychological preparation, linguistic preparation, and cultural preparation. The Ministry of Education in Indonesia has the objective to motivate children to learn English in interesting and fun ways. Another of psychological preparation is developing awareness of language. Several projects on language awareness were published in the UK in the 1980s for English secondary students learning a foreign language. The aim was to stimulate children's natural interest and curiosity about language and to challenge people to ask questions about language. Developing learning awareness is essentially a way of helping pupils to understand why and how they are learning about another language. The kind of awareness may include focusing on skills such as noticing, observing, analyzing, comparing, deducing, or conceptualizing, all of which skill. One possible objective to awareness raising is that children don't have the necessary mental maturity to carry out and benefit from such as a process of reflection. Next, about linguistic preparation. In many countries, the main language aim for primary ELT is to be able to communicate or develop non-communicative competence. In the early stage, language aim may simply involve getting pupils used to the sounds, rhythm, intonation of English and creating an atmosphere where the child feels able to have a go at speaking a few words in another language with confidence. Unlike with primary methodology, pupils will probably have the opportunity to learn the English alphabet, memorize simple dialogue, play language games, sing a song in chat, and so on in a way that keep the children interested, motivated, and challenged. Okay, the next material will be by Jyhan Syahrina. Thank you.
Okay, I'm Jyhan Syahrina and the next material is cultural preparation. Common aim of foreign language learning in many countries is to develop intercultural awareness. In Spain, for example, the government guidelines include the goal of showing a respectful attitude towards other languages, their speakers, and their culture. This is especially effective if this is perceived, rightly or wrongly, as something desirable. Teachers of foreign languages in Britain often despair of motivating some of their pupils. Many boys, in particular, are notorious for not being interested in FLL, according to Brewster et al., provided it is motivating and not abstract. Early FLL in the more relaxed context of primary school has a good chance of encouraging children to take an interest and develop as a positive attitude towards the foreign country and its people. The next material is policy realities. One study showed that secondary teachers claim to be using the methodological approach as taught in government policy, but their observed classroom practice showed that they were not. It may be because government or institution tries to implement a policy too quickly, so that there is simply not enough time to prepare teachers, educators, and teachers in appropriate methods. Another crucial point policy makers must also think very carefully about is how primary ELT links up with secondary ELT, where accessory and grammar-based works a more appropriate part of the program. This has been the downfall of several attempts at primary ELT, as we shall see in the next session. Okay, the next material is from primary school to secondary school. In many countries, there is very little continuity between primary and secondary schools in all aspects of learning, with the teaching of a foreign language being no exception. Aside from this problem, there are there are no familiar complaints from secondary teachers that primary pupils have not learned anything useful at primary school. Secondary ELT teachers may feel resentful about having to use a completely different approach, using different materials or providing work at different levels to cater for the range of language levels in their classes. They include 1. What are the advantages and drawbacks? 2. Who will do teaching and what kind of training should they receive? And who will be the teacher trainers? 3. What kinds of the methodology can be created, which are finely tuned to pupils' ages, abilities, and socio-economic group? 4. Is there an optimum starting age? And last, how far is it beneficial to integrate foreign language learning with the primary curriculum more generally? Okay, that's all from the presentation of Group 1. If there are mistakes and shortcomings, we apologize. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.